Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here and welcome back to another Division video and another episode of Best of Builds. You guys have been asking me for a while now if I could put together a skill power focused build, so that is exactly what I'm doing today. I present to you the uber powerful infinite sticky bomb carnage build with healing. See, the thing about skill power builds is that skill power is such a broad attribute. Firearms and stamina are very straightforward for the most part, but electronics and by extension skill power affects different skills in a number of different ways. More skill power means faster cooldowns, wider area of effects, greater damage, improved effects, etc. It really does vary from skill to skill, so electronics builds are likely something I'll revisit quite a bit over the coming weeks. But for the time being, I want to focus on the sticky bomb. It's one of, if not the most offensive of the skills, and when spec'd right, it can deal some insane damage. Plus, with the right talents, it's practically 100% uptime. So yeah, I think you guys are going to really like this one, and if you do, then a like would be super appreciated, and comment down below and let me know what you think. Now let's get started. First of all, let's talk attributes. As I'm sure you can imagine, the most important attribute in a skill power build is electronics. As mentioned, the greater the skill power, the greater the skill effects, and in the case of sticky bomb, that means more damage and faster cooldowns. However, you're not going to want to spec solely into skill power. So long as you have around 35 to 40k, you should be good to move on to other attributes. And you're going to need another attribute to help you out, and this next one is really down to you. Currently, I'm spec'd electronics firearms, but that is simply because that's the only choice I had right now based on my gear. This build is the definition of a glass cannon. I am super squishy, and in order to play this role successfully, I need team support. In fact, this whole build is focused around playing with a team. But if I had a choice of gear, I would honestly recommend going electronic stamina. See, firearms and weapons aren't really going to be your primary damage dealer in this build. That is what the sticky bomb is for. So in all honesty, firearms isn't that important. Stamina, on the other hand, will keep you alive, and given that this build makes you like a combat medic too, then having the stamina to be able to move between your teammates healing them is super important. So electronic stamina is the recommendation, but if you're confident in your abilities, then glass cannon is also an option. Now let's talk about skills. First and foremost, your most important skill is the sticky bomb, and we're going to be running the BFB mod on this one. This increases the damage and radius of the explosion and may cause targets to bleed. Admittedly, you could turn this from being an offensive build into a CC or crowd control build, and you could swap BFB for flashbang, but the focus here is damage. And your second skill is first aid with the overdose mod. This makes the device heal targets more efficiently and may even extend the target's health beyond its normal rating. And while first aid might seem like an odd choice for a sticky bomb build, it'll all make sense very shortly. After that, you're going to want your signature skill, and to be honest, this build doesn't really require nor depend on a signature skill, so the choice is ultimately down to you. But for survivability, I'd always recommend Survivor Link. If you were speccing electronics firearms, however, and going all in on the glass cannon, then Tactical Link could be an option. But again, this one is up to you. Now let's talk about talents, because it's the talents that really make this build what it is. First up, to amp up the sticky bomb itself, you're going to take Demolition Expert. Kill a hostile with an explosion to increase explosion damage by 40% for 15 seconds. On top of that, you're going to take Shrapnel. Applying bleed to any target triggers a 30% chance to apply the effect to all targets within 10 meters. And given that BFB has a chance to apply a bleed, this is going to come in handy. And you also want Chain Reaction. Damage multiple hostiles with an explosion to apply 40% more damage from the blast. However, the fourth and final talent is arguably the most important, and it's this one that makes this whole build work. Triage. Heal an ally with a skill to reduce skill cooldowns by 15%. And why is this so important, you ask? Well, as advertised, if you heal an ally with a skill, it reduces your skill cooldown. Simple enough. But if you play as a team of 4, you group up and you heal everyone, your skill is instantly recharged. And what's more, it doesn't just apply to you, it also recharges your allies' skills too. This does not, however, work for signature skills, so don't go getting any ideas. But with the sticky bomb in hand, it now means your rotation is effectively bomb, group up, heal, rinse and repeat. So now you can see why I said this build is best played in a team. Healing yourself alone will somewhat recharge your skill, but it won't be instant. If you want the infinite sticky bomb rotation, you need a team of 4. Even 3 people won't be a full recharge. And if you then wanted to take things to the next level, if you then had a team of 4 sticky bomb users, all of whom are running this build, well, I'm sure you can imagine the carnage. Michael Bay would be proud. And that, my friends, is pretty much it. As for weapon recommendations, it doesn't really matter, as your weapons are just secondary to your bomb. You could run with something like Caduceus or Liberator, as they both have skill power focused talents, but honestly, it doesn't matter. Just grab the sticky bomb and fire like there's no tomorrow. Do bear in mind that if you're going to use this in the Dark Zone or a mission, this hinges on being with a team. You will only get the instant skill recharge if you heal next to all of your teammates. If one of them stands apart or one of them runs away, then you're going to have to wait a few seconds, and of course that's going to slow down your rotation, and given that the sticky bomb is your primary damage dealer, you need as much uptime as possible. So stick together and blow people up. Also, just before I wrap up the video, I want to give a massive shout out to Zupa Duper, one of my teammates who is actually the one that discovered this. In our team setup, me and Willis usually run tank, 269 runs DPS, and Zupa usually runs skill power for healing and support. So shout out to him for bringing this to my attention. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this build. If you did, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below and let me know what you think. And thanks for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.